wonderful UpYou community family. How are you guys doing? Welcome to your weekend program, UpYou with Ezinne. It's always exciting connecting with you every weekend. Even though it's a rainy weekend today, a rainy day, Saturday. Yeah, I made it to the studio because you're very important to me. So today we're continuing our discuss on woman, define yourself, show up. I'm going to take a pause and say hello to my IG fam. Hello fam, how you guys doing? Thank you for always signing up live. I see you, and I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So last week on this show, we established the fact that no one but you can define you. But for you to do a good job of defining yourself, you must know yourself. Man, know thyself is an old adage of all times, a very classic one, because it's possible for you to be defining what you do not know. It's not possible. It can't happen. If you don't know yourself, you can't define yourself appropriately. What will be the basis of your definition? Is our hour on radio? And I'm here to keep you company as usual. So let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezinne Kufre Ekanem, and I'm your host. May I remind you, dear listeners, that all episodes of UpYou with Ezinne are now up on our YouTube channel. Please go catch up. Take the nuggets you need to run your life and for your dreams. Subscribe and do leave us a comment. It will help us to serve you better. Remember, it's all about you. Today, I'm streaming on Instagram. UpYou with Ezinne. On Facebook, WFM917 and at gardenradio.com. Woman, define yourself. Show up. We all define ourselves by some characteristics and behaviors. Some of us define ourselves as intelligent, dedicated, result-oriented, winner. Those are very positive ways of defining yourself. And usually successful people define themselves positively. But you know that it becomes easier for you to define yourself with negative words. Almost all of us have those negative things that we think that people don't see and they don't hear inside of our heads. So even when you say to yourself or you describe yourself as intelligent, something inside your head tells you for where. And then a few negative terms that are part of our self-definition. Common examples are things like stubborn, opinionated, or I always have to be right, or the very famous one, this is me, this is the way I am, I can't change. It sounds positive, but it's kind of negative when you say you can't change, So one of the greatest challenges you ever face is the challenge of defining yourself or changing the way you already defined yourself. You are a human being. You're dynamic, and that means that there's room for you to change. You can go from that's just the way I am to becoming better and better. Sometimes I just think that we humans are our biggest enemies, we women especially. We say and do things that limit our own success in life. It's a definition of ourselves, that makes you think that you're not qualified. It is your definition of yourself that makes you think that you're not good enough for that table. It is your definition of yourself that makes you think that something is wrong with you when in reality nothing is. How you define yourself matters. And how you define yourself determines where you show up and how you show up. Woman, it's time to define or redefine yourself as the case may be, and stop stopping yourself by yourself. You it's time to bring up our beautiful, beautiful guest. Yes, she was here last week, but for the privilege of those who weren't on last week, I'm going to just read out her bio again. Our guest today is Mrs. Omotola Ade-Onojobi, a professional life coach, entrepreneur, and etiquette consultant. She is the founder of True MVNG, a graduate of business administration from the Olabisi Onabanjo University. She created the Complete 360 Woman, a platform that helps women discover, tap into, and connect with their inner beauties and power to achieve their greater purpose in life using self-awareness as a tool. Omotola has obtained certifications as a life coach and emotional life coach from the Transformational Academy, Florida, USA. She's also a certified business for social media and certified early childhood psychology consultant. She has impacted lots of women across Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, London, Australia, and the Netherlands as a speaker and coach on international platforms. Omotola is happily married to a king and blessed with two amazing princes, one of whom is celebrating today. His name is Orofe, so we shall just say happy birthday to Orofe. Happy birthday, son. Thank you for allowing your mom come teach us in the studio. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, Omotola, it's wonderful as always to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here again.
Honestly, and I thank you because I know it's a sacrifice for you to be here today, especially.
Well, when job calls, you do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the last time we parted ways, you were on your way to the MVCA.
Yes, yes.
And I saw the pictures. Okie dokie. Now, when we were talking last week, you brought up some keywords. You brought up values. A woman has to have her values and has to define herself in line with her values. And you also said a woman has to also set boundaries and then to be able to define herself and operate within those boundaries. So now tell us, in your own opinion, what's the most important part of defining yourself?
Okay. In defining yourself as a woman or even as any individual, regardless of your gender, the first thing is self-awareness. Awareness of who you are, awareness of your emotion. Because self-awareness actually takes you on a journey. It helps you identify and understand how your emotions and your inner self work. Okay, so it helps you to calm down, or let me say, be quiet. It helps you to be quiet within yourself, regardless of the chaos going on around you. You're quiet within yourself to listen to yourself, to listen to your inner guiding voice. Now, the inner guiding voice is not the one that is always, putting you down or criticizing you. In fact, in defining yourself and in self-awareness, it actually helps you to distinguish between your inner guiding voice and the one that actually, puts you down. That's the critic voice in your head. So you are able to differentiate each of these voices because you are calm within yourself, you are quiet within yourself to listen. So for me, the first and the most important part of defining yourself is the awareness of who you are and what guides you.
Thank you. So what I hear is, let me say in my own words, you must know yourself.
Yes, you must know yourself because this voice actually, it helps you to, it brings out the best version of you. You being knowing yourself, you being aware of yourself helps you to, it takes you on a journey to discovering the best version of you.
So is it okay to say that defining yourself or becoming self-aware is an inside job, not an external job? It's an internal, it starts from the internal.
Yes, it's an internal job first, which actually by the time you master it, it comes, in fact, it comes unconsciously. You don't, effortlessly, yes, that's the word I'm looking for, effortlessly into your external, because it's something that you've worked within yourself. Like I grew up with this phrase, you can't give what you don't have. Mm-hmm. So whatever you want your external environment to give to you, you need to first give it to yourself. Is it love? Is it respect? Is it the boundaries that you want to set with other people? You need to set it with yourself first. Is it whatever you want from your external environment, you need to start with yourself first and give it to yourself.
Okay, is it safe to also say again that you have to get to that point where you say to yourself, I know that I know that I know that I know who I am?
Yes.
Aha. I'm your first student here, and I need to get it to be able to convey it to everyone. So I hope everyone at home, you're listening to us and you're getting all that we're talking about. So from last week, we got a text message from our platform from Wendy Magodo.
Okay.
She sent in this question after the show last week, so I kept it to ask you now. She said, how can I figure out what kind of person I am?
Okay. Well. Okay. How can you figure out who you truly are? Um, we just didn't grow up to be an adult. When our parents gave birth to us, we didn't walk that same day. We didn't. It was a gradual process, right? And if you actually look back, this is one thing we call inner child therapy, because everybody has that inner child in them that somehow this inner child is like looking back into your childhood, looking back at how you grew up. And this is to Wendy. I'm sure when you were growing up, there are some things that, there are some traits that you exhibited. Like for me, I always use myself as an example. When I was growing up, I'm this very energetic girl. I'm loud. I've always been I've always been loud. I love dancing.
I attest to that. I attest to it.
I love dancing. I was just that very vibrant child growing up. But somehow, my parents, especially my mom, be like, I bebe look again. They say, oh, that means I'm too forward. Like, stop, you're too forward. No, and unconsciously they didn't know what they were doing at that time, and I didn't know what was happening to me. They were conditioning me to be someone that I'm not, and that is what actually happened to a lot of us, especially we women. They conditioned us to, I know this is not what a lady should be doing, this is not what girls should be doing. Unconsciously they are silencing our real self. So now for you to discover who you truly are is you going back and doing that shadow work. So it's like you are going back into the past and remembering who you, like the young girl you were supposed to be, or you were growing into, that was quieted by your society, your background, your upbringing, and then you discovering, okay, I'm picking that part that you really want to bring out now into your present, and taking a gradual process, because it's not something that you're going to achieve in a day. And you doing that shadow work, trust me, is a very painful process, but trust me, it is worth it, because by the time you emerge, you're just going to be, everybody will be like, oh wow, who is this new person?
So when you emerge, hopefully you'll be in the flow. It's actually very difficult to do somebody else that is not you. It's like your soul wants to flow this way upwards and you're dragging it down this way. It's a whole lot of job. That's why I guess that phrase, do you, came up. But what we're trying to do now is to look at the process of doing you authentically. I'm just going to open the phone lines because we want you to call us. The phone lines to call, like you already know, is 07000 917 917. And the number to text is 0703 175 6537. So, hey, hit us down. We want your calls. Yeah? Okie dokie. I still have a question from last week for you, from Antonia, who resides here in Arepo. Antonia says, why do I have such a hard time defining who I am? Apparently, she's been trying, but she probably feels that the result she gets doesn't do her justice.
First of all, before I answer that question, if you want to define yourself, the first thing you need to do, aside from being aware, in fact, being aware of yourself takes you to being very honest with yourself. That's the first thing. You need to stop lying to yourself. We women, especially in fact women, we like to lie to ourselves a lot. We lie to ourselves and we chop our own lie, and we believe our own lies and live in the reality of our own lies. So in fact our lie is no longer a lie to us, it has become a truth.
We don't own them.
Yes, because we are living a lie. Okay, so the thing is, you need to be very honest with yourself. Very, very honest. And trust me, being honest can be sometimes very painful. So You need to tell yourself the truth. You need to table out. In fact, that is why I always tell my clients, you can't be on this journey and not have a journal. You need to have a journal, because you need to start write. You are going to become a writer. You start writing down things, a lot of things. So you need to first write down what your reality really is. Aside, you need to be very honest with yourself. Write down what your reality is. Then you need to be patient with yourself. Okay, it's not a rush job. Defining yourself is not something you can do in weeks. Okay, it can take as short as 3 months, and it can take a lifetime, depending. Okay, so it's a continuous journey. Even we that was talking to you right here in the studio, we are still on that journey to discovering ourselves, because every day we are evolving, every day we are transforming. So you need to take it, be patient with yourself, unravel yourself through patience and honesty. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Something you said struck me. You said women, we have to stop lying to ourselves.
Yes, so
You said we tell ourselves a whole lot of lies, that we have even started living our lies, that we have started believing our lies, and our lies have even become us.
Yes.
And that's why when you get to that point, when the lies fail you, and you want to now extract your real self, it's like your real self has disappeared. You look yourself in the mirror, you can't even find it.
Yeah, you get really lost.
Yes, and so you need to dig harder than most people to find. It's a process. This thing we're discussing here like this, as if it's a breeze, is a process.
It's a process.
And then it's a process that you have to be intentional about.
Mindful.
Because the truth is, until you know who you are, and you are operating in of yourself and for yourself on your own lane and on your own terms, life will not become a breeze. But if you do dig out yourself, no matter what you find when you're digging, please let me say this urgently. No matter what you find, whether you find negative things, a lot more negative things than positive things, it's okay. Just make a list of the negative things and a list of the positive things, and determine to lose the negative things and work on highlighting the positive things. There is nobody, like she said, who is 100% positive, who 100% knows themselves, and who is 100% all the time on the UpYou lane. So it is just getting started, staying true to it, and making sure you find yourself. Yeah? You want to say something about that?
In fact, you nailed it. Exactly.
So I am qualified to be a what psychologist now?
You're already in the mission. You're doing the Lord's work.
Thank you. We also like to have some questions from the live streaming, so that we know that you're also here with us. So please type out your questions and we will answer them. Thank you very much. Hello to everybody waving to us from the live stream. We're waving right back at you. Wave, please, baby. Thank you. Okay, so last week you mentioned defining yourself based on your values.
Yes.
Even when I left the studio, I was asking myself, so what are my values? What values do I live by? Are they truly my values, or are they acquired values along the line? I mean, I've been on this earth for like a lot of time, So what are values, first of all? And why is it important to define yourself around your values?
Okay. Values are your personal beliefs. It's a feeling that something is important to you and worthwhile, like something you love to do. Okay. Your values are ideas that you embrace, things that you have chosen to live by. Okay, so it could be anything really. Like, I'm sure you have seen in our society how some people have what they value. Your value guides you. Okay, it guides your way of behaving.
So, Omotola, what's your own value? Give us an example of your values.
Well, for me, my values are integrity, honesty. It has always, guided. I don't lie to myself. I hate lying, so I don't even lie to myself. So I'm very, very honest. I take honesty, I take it
So I'm going to
Like
put you on the
number
spot
one.
now. So if there's a listener out there who also has integrity or honesty as one of their core values and wants to, so I'm going to ask you to define yourself around this value so that the listeners will know exactly what it is we are talking
Okay,
about.
so everybody that knows me now, they know that I'm a very honest person, and I'm a person of integrity. In fact, it shows in my business, to the point that people that have patronized me, they know I don't inflate my prices. The price of my shoe is the price of my shoe. I don't inflate it. I'll tell you, if you go elsewhere, you're going to meet in fact a much higher price. And truthfully, they will do that. They will go out there and see a much. They will come back
Okay,
and
so
say, "Oh, you are being."
what you're doing now is giving us a business example.
Yes,
So
it's
you've taken
something that
integrity into the way you
into
operate.
into everything about me, my family, my friends, my business especially. It has been something that I hold in high esteem, and it has been able to reflect in every area of my life.
Thank you. Thank you. So you get it? So whatever is your core value, we should see it. It's more like saying what you say you are and who the people say you are should merge.
Yes.
There should be a cohesion, a synergy.
Exactly.
I'm speaking big English. Clap for me now.
There should be a synergy, truly. There should be a synergy, and this should be your core value. In fact, everybody should write down their core values, and they should look at it every day, and let it. If you don't have it as a normal value before, you can just write it down. If you want to use these things as your core value and you want it to reflect in your life, just write them down and put it maybe somewhere you can be seeing it every day, so that it can be registering in your subconscious, and doing that you start automatically behaving in that line.
In fact, I'll go as far as saying put it where you see it first thing in the morning. Let it be the first thing you speak out aloud after you said your prayers and greeted
Exactly.
your partner. And then let it be the last thing you say before you go to sleep at night.
Exactly.
I am. You see, I am is a very powerful statement.
Yes.
In fact, from my faith, it's also the name of our creator. I am. Yeah? And when you say I am, you become.
Exactly.
I am a trustworthy person. And you go to sleep. Your subconscious begins to work on it.
True.
You will begin to notice, even unconsciously, traces of untrustworthy things, traces of shady things. It will pull at you. This thing doesn't sound too real or something, and you find yourself running away. Whatever you're conscious of is conscious of you. Whatever you're conscious of is conscious of you. And so when you define yourself, for instance, as I am a trustworthy person, then it therefore means that at some gatherings you will not even show up at. Remember, we said your definition determines where you show up. So if you're trustworthy and you know for sure that those group of people there are untrustworthy, you're not joining them no matter what happens. If you're a hard-working person, then you're not going to do yahoo, because you've defined yourself as a hard-working person. So you're not going to take a shortcut. So what is your definition of yourself matching up with the actual way that you portray yourself in your everyday life? Omotola,
Yes, ma'am.
oftentimes, even you said it, that there is something in our brain. I don't think anybody has been able to, say what it is. We always call it a voice or an impostor or something, in our brain that helps us to magnify the negative aspects of our lives. In fact, when something is going good for us, we tend to say, why now? There must be a comma somewhere. I don't even understand why that happens. You're having a good time. Everything is sailing. And then you're down there doing like Job, saying, who knows? Who knows the day calamity will come and befall me?
To be true.
Exactly. So you yourself, that you've defined yourself as a goal-getter, and then contracts are coming your way and stuff like that, you're not saying it's too good to be true. And then the moment you start thinking that, you're actually stopping your flow. You're stopping yourself.
Exactly.
So why do we magnify those things? How can you explain it to us so that we understand that it's not our village people stopping us. It is those kind of thoughts that stop us from becoming who we want to become. The successful people that we envy have mastered it. So they're always on a positive vibe. You see, I love those people on Instagram who say positive vibes only. You know, it looks like it's a hashtag thing, but it's facts. You know, if you surround yourself with negativity, then you're going to have negativity all the way. If you surround yourself with positivity, then you're going to, and after a while, like everything, you become a master at it, you know. So tell us, why do we do that? And how can we stop doing that? Because I want us to be progressive.
Okay. First of all, I think I mentioned this last week, that if you're not doing something right, you will not even hear that voice in the first place.
That's true. You said it last week. The voice only attacks you when you're
When
onto something, yeah?
When you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, it's like the voice doesn't want you to do anything. It doesn't want you to prosper. But you know, it's our fear. It's our emotions. You know, we have this set of emotions, you know, but it's our fear that it's supposed to protect us, actually. But somehow it makes us, you know, feel it makes us feel like we are not capable, not worthy of what we want to go get. Okay, it's supposed to protect us. That's the natural thing that thing is supposed to do, that voice. But because we are
Cautionary,
yes,
right?
cautionary, yes. Like, oh, are you supposed to do that? Are you supposed to be there? You know, but somehow, you know, because we have so much fed that voice, because we are not aware, we are not mindful of it, it has a lot of power in our consciousness, that when we now want to do something positive, it attacks. Okay, so now the thing is, you're going to get it. You're going to get that voice. As long as, in fact, I will tell you, Elon Musk, all of them, they are still getting that voices in their heads. As long as you're doing something good, as long as you're stepping out of your comfort, my husband will tell me something. If it does not scare you, it is not big enough.
Big enough, yeah.
So it needs to, in fact, that is how, for me now, that is how I know, okay, this is what they go for. Once I get that pang, or I start getting some sort of anxiety, that's when I know, okay, fine. We are going for this. This is really worth it. So we go for it. Whenever you're feeling that way, calm down. Know that, yes, there's something that is worth it in what you are going for. So what you just need to do is affirm to yourself. I think we mentioned something about that last week. The power of affirmations. Affirmations are great for you because it will help you to counter that negative voice, and you keep telling yourself and believing what you're telling yourself, that, see, I am this, I am big, I am supposed to do this, I am capable, I am worthy, I am. So the moment you keep telling yourself, I am, and you keep telling yourself all the positive things, it will keep countering the negative voices in your head. And before you know it, you'll be able to balance it out and be able to live your peaceful and fulfilled life. You'll be able to go for your goals, knowing that voice is there, but you know how to, you are mindful of it, and you're knowing how to counter it to achieve greater things in life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I had an aha moment while you were talking, because you said something like, we have unconsciously allowed the negative voice to speak for a long time.
Yes.
And so now that we're becoming self-aware and we want to branch out, it needs to lose its power.
Yes.
And it doesn't want to be powerless.
Exactly.
So it's just trying to clutch back and pull you right back to where you were.
Yes.
But you see, we have become wiser.
Now
We can see the light.
Exactly.
And we're walking towards the light.
Exactly.
So we're now going to consciously feed ourselves positive thoughts.
Things.
Give
Yes.
ourselves positive energy.
Exactly.
Surround ourselves with positive tribe.
In fact, do you know what? Our brain is so capable of so much because we have fed this other negative aspect. I mean, we have built that neuron. You know that you can actually train. I think that's another topic for another day.
Yes, I know the NLP. Yeah.
You can build, you can actually train your brain to think a certain way. Okay, so you can actually from thinking negative, you can train your brain to think more positively. So you can give that positive aspect of your brain more power than the negative. So even when that negative voice is coming, it is very faint.
The way I'm smiling in the studio, you guys won't understand it. But I'll just pause her now and go to the market for one last time. Welcome back. This is Up You with Ezinne on WFM 91.7, and we have been discussing Woman Define Yourself and Then Show Up. As always, when you're having fun, time runs and runs and runs. So I'm going to give my guest the next 3 minutes to answer two more questions, and then I will let her be. Last week you said that defining oneself helps us to set boundaries. Could you quickly tell us, what do you mean by that? Because the boundaries I know are the ones between Lagos State and Ogun State. Is that the kind of boundary you're talking about?
No. that is quite funny. No. Your boundaries are, they are what protects you, okay? And it's what actually helps you it protects your personal space. It protects your energy, because I believe that we are all energy beings, okay? Because we emit and we receive energies, right? That's why you've been hearing a lot of positive vibes, negative vibes, positive energies and all that. So your boundaries actually helps you to protect your energy, okay? And prioritize your wellness or your well-being, okay? So you can decide to set boundaries in every aspect of your life, as long as you have a life and you have every aspect of it. I mean, your financial life, your marital life, your workplace, your emotions. That's the one that has to do with yourself. Your time. You can set boundaries with every of those things. Like I said, it is what you first do to yourself that you can give out. If you have it in abundance, then you can give out to others, okay? So now, if you are able to set your boundaries depending on each aspect of your life that you feel, I should set boundaries in this aspect.
Okay. Good evening. Up You with Ezinne.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
We can hear you. Who is calling and where are you calling from?
My name is Ademola. I'm calling from Aribo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Ademola. How are you? You're actually our first caller. Our Shekere has disappeared. Oh, it is right here. So that's for you. You're our first caller today. How can we help you?
There's this question I want to ask.
Yes, please.
Everybody in my family is study law.
Everybody what?
Everybody in my family study law. And I don't want to study law. I want to study computer science. So what can I do to convince my parents?
Okay. Thank you. I will just say that to our guest and see what she has to say to you. Thank you very much. Ademola says everybody in his family is studying law, but he doesn't want to read law. He wants to study computer science. How can he convince his parents that his own path is different? Identity.
Honestly. Hi, Ademola. Okay, so this thing has actually happened to a few of us before. And, first of all, just leave it to God. Okay? What God wants you to do, there is no one that can stop it. As long as it is in your heart, what you just do is manifest it. How do you manifest your intentions? Just send it out as a request. Tell God, I don't want to study law. I want to study this. And you will just see that maybe it's jambo, post-jambo. You just see that your results falls according to what you really want. So it's not what you want to, what they want you to study, but what even God has chosen for you. So they need to understand, your parents also need to understand that it is not them choosing for you, but also what you want for yourself and what the universe wants for you, because everybody has their purpose in life. So I think you also need to communicate that to them, that you have your purpose. The fact that everybody in your house studies law doesn't mean you also need to study law, because you have your own personal purpose in this life. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Ademola, I hope that helps you. Could you please give us your last word very quickly in 1 second?
Okay, in 1 second, your thought shapes your reality. So what you feed your mind, okay, what you feed your mind, you need to be conscious of it. You need to be mindful of it. I think I talked about something about 5 sense organs. What goes into the soul, the window of your soul. Those 5 sense organs are windows to your soul, and you need to be conscious of what enters through it: your mouth, your ears, your eyes, your tongue, and your skin.
Thank you very much, Omotola. Thank you. Very well done, and thank you for coming on the show. As always, we always run out of time, but thank you. I'm sure our listeners understand exactly what we have dealt with today. Well, my take today is there are no two people that are the same. We're all very different. So please do not bother to identify yourself or to define yourself based on some other person's identity or anything else. That will be like forcing yourself into that other person, and that will not go down well. Writing yourself a definitive statement is something that you definitely have to do. You just have to do. So please go ahead, write it down, put it where you see it, read it every day. Read it as often as possible until it comes very easily to you, just the way you can say, this is my name. That's the way you should say, this is who I am. And then the moment you can do that, you find that your life begins to go upwards, onwards, and forward, because you begin to flow. This is where we come to the end of the show today, and I say thank you again. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week. To you, dear listeners, to all of you, the UpYou fam, to the engineers on duty, to my producer, to the best radio station ever, WFM 91.7. You all stay blessed, stay lifted, stay strong. Till I come your way next week, my name is Ezinne Kufre Ekanem. UpYou, 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 UpYou.